I don't care what's fashionable or cool. It's all silly and it's all meaningless. I created so many of the things that you care about. The songs that give your life purpose and joy. When you were 15 and rebelling, you were rebelling to my music. Uh-oh. That's one you know. That song was not written on distorted guitar. No. I wrote it here on piano somewhere between a blowjob and an omelet. There is no rebellion. There's only me earning a paycheck.
I don't believe you.
Well, good. Because the real message was not meant for you. So it's better if you just smile and you dance and you enjoy the melody. Because this ugly old man, me, I am the voice of your generation. Your grandparents, your parents, and all the young people that follow you. I love rock and roll. Drop another dime in the jukebox, baby. Oh, look at you. Everything that you hoped for, that you dreamed about being a part of, is a fabrication. Your art, your writing, your culture is the shell of other men's ambitions, ambitions beyond what you will ever understand.
That's funny to you.
Well, it's a little bit funny, don't you think?
I'm the king of the world!
You better start talking.
I don't like to work without the master.
Wendy's bucket of nuggets and bucket of chili.
I was just lying there.
Soon any mom and pop will think they can sell guy on vice.
Hey, chill. Hey, chill.
You don't want to play asshole with me, kid. You lose every time.
Hey there, friends and family. This is Dan. I'm here with the podcast. It's the Dan and Adam Are Afraid podcast. It's Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. It is episode 89. And on episode 89, I'm so glad to be joined by you. I'm so glad to be joined by my 80s superstar co-host, Adam.
Hey, where's the beef? Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Where's my jelly beans?
Where am I? Where are my jelly... Nancy, where are my jelly beans?
When did Reagan stop? This is like 87, right? The original Running Man?
Yeah.
Hey there, folks. We're talking about the Running Man today. Before we get in the Running Man, we talked about we watched a bunch of trailers. We did a trailer sizzle reel. I don't know what to call this segment yet, but I think once a month we should make Adam watch trailers.
If I don't watch them on this show, I won't watch them in real life anymore.
But before we jump into that, I did want to shout out Adam. I guess shout out. I wanted to mention, rest in peace, Tom Noonan.
Damn, yeah, R.I.P. man. Tom Noonan. He's one of the greatest villains. Dan, have you seen Last Action Hero? Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I haven't. I have like a 4K digital copy, and I've watched like maybe 10 minutes of it.
Damn, I'd love to watch that sometime. Yeah, right. Tom Noonan, good guy, good actor.
Is he in that or what?
Yeah, that movie has kind of has like two bad guys in it, and he plays one of the fictional. Well, I guess they're all fictional. He plays one of the bad guys in it though, and he haunted my dreams as a young kid. I was so fucking scared of him in that movie. And he's
Oh, wow.
ugly, and he's ugly as sin in that movie.
Apparently, he's also in Manhunter, the like Silence, I guess, Hannibal Lecter movie before Hannibal Lecter was like I don't know what to call it. It's like, isn't it like Michael Mann movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
he's the guy on the cover that you see. So I don't know. Yeah, Tom Noonan, man, he's in Synecdoche, New York. That's a big one I know him from. So important character actor, and yeah, I don't know. Rest in peace, man. I don't know how old he was, but hopefully he lived a full life. And we were talking about maybe watching one of his movies coming up. We mentioned one of his movies on the podcast. What Happened was from 1994, I think. 1995, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of blind spots with him. He's like you said, character actor, so he's not someone I sought out. But now that he's dead, I probably will. Isn't that fun how that happens for
Well, he's also a director. Can you believe that? He also directed movies.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's been a rough couple years for celebrity death, so rest in peace. Quick topic, Nintendo is now re-releasing Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and they're charging $20 per Switch 2 port. How do you feel about this, Adam?
I want to know why that is. I don't understand why that's such a big deal, but I'm sure it is a big deal. I'm not a big Pokemon.
Well, online it's a big deal because they're like these are ROMs you can just download like illegally, but you could play these for free.
Oh,
and they're just saying like, hey, these should be like $8 each because they're old ass games. There's no updates to nothing. Just straight ports from Game Boy. You didn't play Pokemon, right? So you're just like out of your element. You're like, I don't even care about this.
I was never a Pokemon player.
Where's your wife at? What does she feel about this?
I don't think she was. Well, she was a big Pokemon Go. So, you know.
Okay.
She was
All
Pokemon right. Going to the polls.
I do think it's a little weird that they're charging so much, but it's just like a element of everything's cost. Like GTA 6 is going to cost like $120 probably. Get ready for it.
Yeah, video games are just going to be getting too expensive. That's why I'm going to be playing the games that I've gotten off Steam for the rest of my life.
Let's move on to our trailer section, Adam. We watched some trailers. How'd you feel about How to Make a Killing in Business that just came out?
How to Make a Killing in Business. You know, Glen Powell is they're definitely trying to make him a star, and I can see why, because he's very charismatic, he's very handsome, and I don't know, yeah, this movie looks interesting because I like when like the main character is like it's kind of like uncertain if they're a good guy or not, and then like they're doing bad things. And I think that generally makes for a more interesting movie, I think.
Wait, who are you? I'm Beckett. Yeah, I mentioned this one because of Glen Powell, and I want to see this movie. I love Margaret Qualley. Not in that one Spike Jonze thing where she does like the weird dance movements. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay. Shout out to my people who know what I'm talking about. But I love her. She's great. I almost bought The Substance last night on 4K. I really wanted to, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I love
That's where I was like, she looks very familiar. I haven't seen The Substance yet, but I have the Blu-ray sitting on my mantle.
Have you seen Groundhog's Day? We've talked about this on the podcast, but she's the daughter of the woman in that movie. I don't remember her name though. She's kind of small time compared to Margaret Qualley.
What daughter?
Have you seen Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Do you remember the curly-haired love interest in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's her daughter.
In real life, that's her daughter. Okay.
IRL.
I don't live in the real world though, so I live in books.
Margaret Qualley mom. Andy McDowell. Shout out Andy McDowell. Not saying RIP yet. All right, let's move on. Undertone, Adam. What do you think about the new horror sensation, audio-driven horror nightmare horror undertone.
I love these movies that come out. Yeah, it looks good. I love a movie that stars podcast. You know, the podcaster is the star. It's like I'm seeing myself in a movie.
Maybe we shouldn't have listened to. Maybe I shouldn't have played those samples.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna be sitting late at night and I'm just gonna hear like, "Oh God," I'm like, "Oh no." George Burns is gonna be in my closet.
Tyler was looking forward. Our brother, War Boy Tyler, was looking forward to this one. So we're gonna go see this and hold hands and eat popcorn together. Probably not, but I'm excited to see it. Not much to say, I guess. Like I like that it's audio driven, so I'm like, what does that translate to? Can I watch it with headphones and it'll be like a fun experience, or is that just kind of like overblown? We'll see. Next one. This one hurt me, Adam. Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling. Almost said Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. They might become the same person. That would be very sad if. You know, I read an interview with Ryan Gosling recently, and I don't know. I guess it's because of his kids that he's doing movies like this that are, you know, they're not dark. There's a lot of, you know, I don't know. It looks like a nice wholesome movie. It's gonna have a little rock creature, and you know the kids are gonna be able to, you know, you can bring your kids to this movie.
I will not let Grace die.
What is a teacher doing in space? Yeah. What do I think about it though? It's not necessarily something that I'm gonna go run. I'm not gonna run to the theater to see this movie, but maybe I'll, you know, maybe if it's one of those movies where if my wife was like, I want to go see this, I would see it, but I wouldn't be like, I would be more interested maybe in watching the preview, the trailers.
Yeah,
you know,
this is one my girlfriend would want to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully she hasn't seen the trailer yet.
Oh yeah. It might be good though. Like I think it's important to keep your mind open to, as we heard in the beginning of this episode.
As the guy who picked The Running Man this week.
Well, as we heard at the beginning of this episode from the man from Under the Silver Lake, you know, sometimes you got to stay attached to these movies that are created by some dirty old man in a room somewhere, controlling our culture, controlling our rebellion.
I'm going to rebel on this podcast. Next one, They Will Kill You. This one's has Zazie Beetz in it. And it's, I think, did it say produced or directed by Andy Muschietti? I think produced, right?
Yeah, Andy Muschietti.
What'd you think about They Will Kill You?
I hated I hated that the trailer included so much.
Yeah, you basically know what's going to happen.
I would liked it if it was just like a lot more, I would have liked it if it was a lot, if there was less in the trailer, but it looks fine. You know, it looks like it's going to be a bloody good time.
The thing is, I just want to support Zazie Beetz.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great to see her acting in new things coming out that aren't Marvel.
Yeah, it's true. She was in Deadpool 2. She was like the best part of that movie. When I think about Deadpool 2, I think about her and all the like crazy side characters. I don't think about Ryan Reynolds and like, oh, he's so funny in that movie.
He's so charming. I'd love
great.
to introduce him to my daughter.
Saves me so much money on my phone bill. It's directed by Kirill Sokolov. So yeah, it's produced by Andy Muschietti. They do that thing where they're like, from the people who brought you It remake. And I'm like, that movie came out 10 years ago and it's not even directed by him.
Yeah. But he brought it to us.
Next one. The Devil Wears Prada 2, Adam. Dude, I threw this one in as a gag. What do you think about this one?
I know
were you gagged?
I know you. I'm gagging over Meryl Streep. I mean, as you know, I'm a big Meryl Streep fan. Anything she's in, I'm just like, oh God, yeah. Sophie's Choice.
When we were doing the Harmony Korine premium, you didn't hear this behind the scenes, but Adam got really upset when he heard the story about Harmony going through her purse.
How dare that little drugged up ruffian go through my queen's purse? Fuck off. I saw The Devil Wears Prada the first one, and I saw it. It was very, I was young, and I think I kind of liked that movie. I thought it was pretty good. And so to see this coming out, almost like, I know it's not a big deal to make a mockery of The Devil Wears Prada, but it kind of feels like, why are you doing this?
Do you think it's going to end like The Return with Meryl Streep just screaming into the sky?
I just don't know who this. I mean, I guess I know who this movie's for. It's for people my age who saw, but like, why make a movie for people just for people my age? Like, who else is gonna go see this movie?
We'll see. I'm really interested. We'll talk about the box office numbers on whatever movie we're talking about that's closely related to it. I was going to bring it up at some point. But that's coming out soon. That's May 1st, folks. I should have mentioned all the things. How to Make a Killing in Business is already out. Just picked it because we're talking about Glen Powell movie. Undertone, March 13. Project Hail Mary, March 20th. They Will Kill You, March 27. Devil Wears Prada 2, May 1st. Are you excited for any of this stuff? Let's keep going. The Sheep Detective.
The Sheep Detective.
Sorry. My girlfriend wanted me to include this. What do you think about The Sheep Detective?
Honestly, love the trailer. I love I love Hugh Jackman, and I'm not so pretentious anymore to not enjoy like what looks to be like just a delightful little film. And I don't know, it looks cute, right? Doesn't it look cute? Like you could watch this, like you said, with your girlfriend, and they're going to be like, yay.
I like a murder mystery. I'm a big Giallo fan, as you know. So I'm in for that. I even like the Knives Out movies enough because I'm like, I like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I like a mystery. I like my stories.
It gave me Knives Out vibes for sure.
And how could I miss a Rhys Darby major motion picture performance? Shout out, come on the podcast, Rhys Darby. That's right. I'm not even going for the director anymore. I'm going for you directly, Rhys Darby. Come on the podcast.
Man, I'm going to be in a movie.
Next one, The Mummy. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Sorry.
Am I supposed to know who Lee Cronin is?
I guess he direct. So I saw an advanced screening of Evil Dead Rise. You remember Evil Dead Rise from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whenever that came out? I saw an advanced screening of it. I got some like special candy that went with it that was like emulating like if you had your arm grated off.
Ooh.
Chunks of your arm. It was sour. It was like the sour strip candies.
Okay.
Sour straw candies? Whatever. It was good though. And he did a little intro before. He's like, hey, I'm Lee Cronin. I hope you like my Evil Dead. And I was like, watched it and I was like, this movie was okay. I'll never rewatch it ever again. So he's a horror director. He did the last Evil Dead.
Okay. I wouldn't say that the trailer grabbed me. I'm sure.
Can you look up the poster for me? Go ahead and look up the Mummy poster, 2025 poster.
Wait, 2025?
2026 poster. I'm glad I haven't said 2025 in the intro yet.
Okay, I'm seeing it. He's holding a pyramid. Someone's holding a pyramid.
That's a fine one, but I'm talking about the one that's like a little bit older and it has like the pyramid and the lady's face on the pyramid, the little girl's face on the pyramid. You seeing that? 8 years ago, the young daughter of a journalist disappeared into the desert without a trace. Today she has returned. You see this?
Maybe.
I'm posting it in our chat, just in case.
Oh, okay. That's a cool poster.
That's why I was like, oh, maybe this will be a good movie. And then I watched the trailer with you just now for the first time, and I thought it looked god awful.
I mean, it's got our boy Christian. Who is that? What is that actor's name?
Who are these people? Who's anybody?
Jack Raynor. I mean,
there you go. I follow him on Instagram.
It's funny because, like, yeah, after he did Midsummer, I remember him being like, "I don't want to do these pop movies anymore." But I guess
I'm back.
I guess they're not knocking down the door to have him, get him into some art film. Maybe that's what he's gonna do.
Except Ari's not taking applications no more.
Ari's going to be in director jail again.
Ari Aster in director jail again. They can't put him in. He's like Donald Trump. He's like, how's he going to get out of this one? And he's like, a new Ari Aster movie's coming out. It's just always like, they gave him another $30 million.
Hey, I'm glad. Hey, whoever's out there funding his movies, I'm glad there's like some wealthy weirdos who want to see more.
Yeah, maybe we'll get into that when we talk about Beau is Afraid on episode 100, Adam.
Beau is Afraid. Maybe.
Next one. I also mentioned The Sheep Detective May 8th, if you're excited for that. And The Mummy May 19th. You're going to be seeing movies. There's like no April movies here, but maybe April sucks. But last but not least, Adam, Toy Story 5. Before we talk about that, I wanted to ask you, have you seen all the Toy Stories?
I've seen up to Toy Story 3.
Oh, you didn't see the Toy Story 4 with Key and Peele?
No, and my thought is that, like, why not? Why? Again, I'm asking why. Why is Woody bald? Why is this inanimate toy balding? Like, I think
the idea is that he just puts his hat on too much.
I guess. I don't know. It makes me like if you cut one of these toys open now after they've been alive for so long, are they going to be like Chucky and they have like blood coming out of them?
Maybe the little girl was sucking on his head a lot.
I'm like my toy. I like my Woody.
He's like, I've got lead paint all over me.
And I guess like the plot, we can get into like the plot of it where it's like, okay, so it's about, kids getting iPads and shit like that, iPad babies. And, like, I think I guess that's where else would you go, right? If you're going to make a Toy Story in 2026, it's going to be about kids getting iPads and playing on their screens all day. But part of me is like, I guess, yeah, you have to call it Toy Story 5 because how else are you going to get funding for it? But I don't like Tom Hanks sounds weird in it. I'm just a big hater this morning because I'm just like, fuck all these movies except for how to make a killing in business.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what happened in Toy Story 4. I'm like, well, I guess they just were introduced to this new Bonnie girl. That was really it. And she's like, I'm going to kindergarten. Here's Forky.
Well, I thought she was in Toy Story 3, right? Like,
maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's like the one I've seen the least is Toy Story 3. I've seen Toy Story 1 and 2 like a ton of times, but third not so much.
Like, I'm just such a millennial because I'm like Toy Story for me, like Toy Story 3 felt like the proper ending of Toy Story. And
I guess it's fine though. I don't know. What I think they should start doing is remastering the old ones. Like they should just redo all the animation in the Toy Story 1. I think that'd be a cool project.
I guess. I don't know. It's like, why not it's like we're going to remaster The Sword in the Stone.
Dude, who gives a shit? They're basically just remaking shit anyway. They're going to do a new Toy Story eventually. Like just remake the first one. Like it's a video game. That one's really good. That's my opinion. And I'll also see Toy Story 5. Looks heartwarming. I'm gonna cry during the movie.
Ooh, I freaked out there for a second. I guess I hit unfollow on on Reaper, and I was like, oh no, did it stop recording? No, it just, there we go.
Jesus Christ. Well,
we're fine. I was just like, ooh, this is rated R. Ooh, this is rated R. Who is that loser? Fuck that guy. Fuck off. Yeah, exactly.
So we watched a movie this week, Adam.
Yeah, that's right. We watched 2020. Oh. You
fucking float off the ground and shit.
Yeah, we watched 2025's The Running Man.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Ben Richards, 35, married, one child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch us up.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
This is our birthright. Set it free. Welcome to the Running Man.
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice. Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yes! Hunt him down! Stop filming me!
Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast.
Hey, buddy. You're on Freebie.
You better run! I got a grenade!
Back at you.
I'm still here, you shit eaters. Hey, big boys!
Are you crazy?
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Running Man, a 2025 science fiction action film produced and directed by my man Edgar Wright. And it was written by Edgar Wright and Michael Bacall. This is the second adaptation of the 1982 novel by Stephen King following the 1987 film.
That's right, Adam. And it's episode 89. I Want to Be Alive. And I'm glad you're here to join us, folks, to talk about The Running Man. I didn't even know Edgar Wright directed this until after I'd watched the original this week, and then I briefly looked into the remake. And I want to point this out because I had seen the trailer for The Running Man already. I had seen the marketing material for it, but I didn't know it was directed by Edgar Wright. Maybe I had heard it in passing, but I'd forgotten, and I didn't remember until this week. I think that says something right there. Is I literally thought we were getting into a Francis Lawrence situation, and I was all excited, okay, which nobody directed this shit. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's Edgar Wright, The Running Man. Go ahead and read me the IMDb description, Adam.
A man joins a game show in which contestants, allowed to flee anywhere in the world, are pursued by hunters hired to kill them.
The taglines: Hunt him down.
Survive 30 days while the world hunts you down.
Before we get into the movie proper and start discussing some details and getting into the plot and the themes and everything, I want to talk about the original Running Man, Adam. Just real quick. Have you seen the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger epic?
Dude, I saw that movie as a child. It was one of the things, we've talked about before. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a staple to my life. And so obviously, when I was a kid, this movie came out in 1987. I was born in 1986. And there was just something about it, watching Arnold movies, that just put me in such a beautiful little headspace. And so I'd seen this a few times. I'd seen it a few times.
I'd never seen it ever. I think I was mixing it up with Demolition Man. I remember putting on Demolition Man late one night in 2016 or something. A long time ago, over 10 years ago. And I was like, this is boring as fuck. I fell asleep. Same thing happened with Blade Runner, by the way, so don't trust that. And so I'd never seen this until this week. And as a big fan of Total Recall all the Arnold films. It's like you could just name off so many. Predator, Kindergarten Cop. you know all the ones, but Total Recall immediately comes to mind as like that's like my favorite Arnold movie, I think. But watching Running Man, I was like, oh shit, this is a good one. It's like right into the action, and it's like it's trying to be really gritty was the original thing, and then it became wacky, and I think they changed hands midway through. And I really love the superhero-esque elements, the comic book-esque elements to like the game show and like the hunters, because you have like Sub-Zero, all this stuff. And when you watch that movie, you get to the end, and you're just like, wow, this is like a perfect movie to me anyway. And in 2026, I'm like, well, there's not much wrong with this thing. It's great. I even love the ending. It ends good on a good note. And I was thinking about that. I was like, a movie should be like this should be cathartic. And that's what the ending felt like to me to the original 1987 Running Man, is cathartic. And I was like, the working man should win in this movie.
Yeah.
And it should feel good. And it does at the end of that movie. There's no cheap, like, oh, villain pops out and shoots both of them or something. It's just they walk off into the sunset and that's it. And when you watch that movie and you hear, oh, Edgar Wright's directing the new Running Man, you're like, oh, it's perfect. He did... We'll get into it in a minute, but he did the Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right? And you're like, he's perfect for this, right? With all those villain characters that are all unique and you remember them. You're like, he's perfect for doing the Running Man. This is not a remake of the 1987 Running Man, Adam. It's another adaptation of the book.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this is more, like if you've seen 1987, The Running Man, it's not necessarily going. You're not going to know what's coming up in Edgar Wright's Running Man, and I think that's like you said. Is it a strength? Is it a weakness? I mean, we'll leave that up for you to decide. For me, I personally enjoyed the difference, but that you say that now, like I was like, I wish there was like some different flavor to the hunters, but I guess I don't know. I haven't read the book. My assumption would be like, oh, so it's probably more like the book. I imagine the book doesn't have all the goofy, Sub-Zero, and
the book is like gritty and bleak. So neither of them necessarily match, but this one matches a little closer. Especially with the plot, because in, the 87 Running Man, it's like all takes place in like a day or two or whatever. And it's like kind of all on a set almost. And this one, it's the entire city, right? He's on the run in the city. And so in the book, that's more, it's like, we'll get into it. But let's talk about Edgar Wright, Adam. Edgar Wright, I put a nice little photo of him in the document here. It's Edgar Wright, AMA, 1111. He just looks so miserable. I just wanted to pick that photo for that reason. Ari Aster does this shit, and he's just like, I'm on acid. Come hit me up, dog. And then you get Edgar Wright, and he just looks miserable. So it says a lot. What was the first movie Edgar Wright directed, Adam?
That would be A Fistful of Fingers, which I have not seen. As a self-proclaimed Edgar Wright fan, I feel bad.
It's a 1995 British Western comedy film. Yep, written and directed by Edgar Wright. The film depicts a cowboy who follows a wanted man who caused the death of his horse. Easy. I don't know. I've never even heard of it. Yeah, that was the crazy thing just doing this morning because I put this together really quickly. I've never heard of A Fistful of Fingers, but definitely one on the list now, right? We could put that on there.
Yeah.
Never seen it. Be interesting to watch. Obviously, did Shaun of the Dead from 2004.
Woo!
What can you say? We're going to skip past some of these because it's like Edgar Wright's a millennial icon. You know who he is if you're listening to this podcast. What was the next one, Adam?
Yeah, he did Hot Fuzz in 2007. It's actually part of a trilogy was Shaun of the Dead. And do you mind if we'll come back to it. I just wanted to say part of the trilogy, the third part is The World's End that makes up his little, I forget what the trilogy's called, but
the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah. It's the one, and it's the ones with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Essentially, that's the best way to think of it.
And you got Scott Pilgrim versus the World from 2010, which I already mentioned, which is, one of my favorites of his, for sure.
And now
I read the original comic book or graphic novels.
Nice. Scott Pilgrim, that's one of those movies where if I just throw it on, I'm like, oh, I'll just throw it on while I'm doing some dishes. I'll just like a dad, I'll stand there and watch it from the kitchen and just be like, oh shit, I've watched like 2/3 of this movie and I'm supposed to be doing chores. Love that movie. It's so good.
So, yeah, you could throw it on anytime. That's why I was so excited for this going into it. And then I was like, oh, okay. Ignore this next one because he's actually just like a producer or writer or something, and I forgot to remove it. But he did something for The Adventures of Tintin.
He wrote The Adventures of Tintin, yeah. Then, as we mentioned, The World's End, a great alien robot, but what the fuck is that movie called with about people being taken over like by aliens?
Invasion
and shit?
of the Body Snatchers?
Yeah, it's like an invasion. It's in that same
oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Also very
so what
funny.
I'd say. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, just saying, it's also a very funny movie. I love it.
Reason like this one sticks out. It might be my favorite of the. I don't think people like this one as much, but like it's definitely of the original like movies you think of with Edgar Wright for sure. The Cornetto trilogy. I saw this right after I graduated, and the movie's like very much opens with that like plot. Like, oh, we just graduated, and then he's like, my friends are all gonna go away. I'm not gonna see them anymore. And I was in a very isolated time. This was around when we met Adam. When this movie came out. And yeah, I really related to this one. I haven't seen it since the theaters, but I would love to go back and see it. Notoriously, Dan was in the theater for almost every movie in 2013 because I didn't have any friends until I met Adam. Next one. This is not necessarily, he was going to, so Ant-Man from 2015. It didn't end up being directed by him, but it was in development since 2006. He was hired to write and direct. And then in May of 2014, it was announced that Wright would exit the movie due to creative differences, later receiving screenplay, story credit, as well as an executive producer credit. In 2017, he said, "The most diplomatic answer is I wanted to make a Marvel movie, but I don't think they really wanted to make an Edgar Wright movie. Having written all my other movies, that's a tough thing to move forward. Suddenly, becoming a director for hire on it, you're sort of less emotionally invested, and you start to wonder why you're there, really." I thought this was an interesting one to bring up when we talk about The Running Man.
Yeah, it's. I remember the controversy around that, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's a lot of excitement. There's going to be an Edgar Wright directed Marvel movie," and then he left, and everyone. It was a huge bummer for a lot of people, I guess. I think it would have been interesting, but also at the same time, one of the Doctor Strange movies was directed by Sam Raimi. And what I heard is that it's very much so not a Sam Raimi film. Like there are some editing choices that like kind of harken to Sam Raimi, but I think when you get as a director for hire on a movie like this, it's not going to be your movie.
I don't know, man. I saw Multiverse Madness in theaters in like 3D or something, and I'll say I think I might have liked it more than Send Help.
And so we got next here, so until I saw The Running Man, this was like the last Edgar Wright movie I had seen in 2017, Baby Driver. That movie is I think that movie is sick. It's pretty awesome, in my opinion. I think, regardless of what my co-host thinks. But
yeah, I don't like it. But apparently it's very Reddit to not like it, so I'm going to hold my tongue. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time.
It happens to star famed and
Kevin Spacey?
Well, I was going to say exonerated Kevin Spacey.
Isn't everyone a sex predator on this movie now? Oh, no. Okay. It wasn't Diddy. It was Jamie Foxx. That's right.
Diddy. I would love to watch the version of this movie with P. Diddy.
It was Diddy, Ansel Elgort, who got canceled at some point, and then, Kevin Spacey. That'd be wild. But he's safe. Shout out Jamie Foxx. I think he had a stroke recently or something.
Oh, damn. Yes. Get better, Jamie Foxx.
But yeah, Baby Driver. Next one on the list here is The Sparks Brothers, which was a documentary about the Sparks Brothers. This is some shit you don't know about unless you're like from where Edgar Wright or Australia or where the fuck it's from. Now I feel compelled to look it up.
He's from England.
Sparks Brothers. Yeah, but who are the Sparks Brothers? Who the fuck are these guys? The duo Sparks. It's American pop and rock duo. Okay, so he did a documentary about a American duo. I've never heard of them. I don't know. Maybe we should check out the Sparks Brothers someday.
I see 50 years, 25 albums, 345 songs, unlimited genius.
It's crazy. I haven't heard of them.
Your favorite, oh yeah, here's why the other little tagline is your favorite band's favorite band. So this is one of those bands that probably, now I'm just completely speaking like I don't know much about them, but I'm like, oh, so this is one of those bands that like are very respected, but never got huge.
Yeah, they're like Dilla.
Yeah, like it's like every rapper, every rap producer knows who Jay Dilla is, and then it's like
or MF Doom. Yeah,
I could mention MF Doom to people who listen to like nothing but rap and hip hop, and they'll be like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "How fucking dare you?" I don't even listen, but that's maybe it's because I don't really, I listen to a lot more than just rap. So it's
your rapper's favorite rapper.
Your rapper favorite rapper. I'm always eating snapper. I'm not I'm cut that. What
was the next one, Adam? What was the last one before Running Man?
And then we have Last Night in Soho from 2021. Again, like I said, I haven't watched the newer Edgar Wright movies, but I know it's a psychological horror film. It stars someone who's become one of my favorite actors, Anya Taylor-Joy, with her weird looking face, and Matt Smith. So it definitely needs to be something I watch. I don't know why. I don't know why I haven't. I don't know why I haven't watched
I don't know either. Like this one's totally up my alley. I remember when it was introduced, like it's a giallo. They always do that with like these movies, like Neon Demon and shit. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that one in the future. That's the one I'm most interested in seeing from Wright. But yeah. And then we got The Running Man. We're here, folks.
We made it.
So Adam, let's talk about The Good. You want to read The Good for me?
The Good. He has directed good films before.
The Bad. He's kind of washed. I'm sorry, Edgar Wright, if you're listening to this. I still love you, man, but I think that's the consensus, is you're kind of washed. Here's the washing sound. That's director jail. We'll get into that, actually. So Wright attributes his edgy and comedic style to his love for An American Werewolf in London, A Man After My Own Heart. That's one of my favorite movies. He said, I've always been fascinated by horror films and genre films, and horror films harbored a fascination for me and always have been something I've wanted to watch and wanted to make. Equally, I'm very fascinated by comedy. I suppose the reason that this film changed my life is that very early on in my film watching experiences, I saw a film that was so sophisticated in its tone and what it managed to achieve. Shout out, American Werewolf in London, one of the best.
Yeah, I went so long without seeing it, and you were like, "We gotta watch this movie, Adam." And I think we all three watched it. You, me, and my wife. My wife. That's better. I don't want to rip off Borat. I'd rather be a wife guy. I hate my wife guy on this podcast. Remember that, folks. And that movie was sick. I really enjoyed watching it late in life.
I love that movie so much. I heard it was coming out in 4K, but it was only coming out in Germany in 4K. So I got the German 4K, and that's just what I have now. I have to live with it, even though the US versions have since come out.
Have you ever seen An American Werewolf in Paris?
No, that would be a great one to cover. So add that to the list. Whoever's listening. If you're out there, add it to the list. Add a comment. Leave a comment. This is actually a great time to take a break here. Let's go on ad break, Adam. Go ahead and read me the ad. Remember, you have to smile. That's why there's a smiley face.
Blue Chew. When my dick's not working, I get Blue Chew. I got nothing.
You got to do the ad read. Rate the podcast, buddy.
Oh, ad read, yeah. Rate the podcast on Apple or Spotify. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Share it with a friend. Send it to your family. Hit the like button on YouTube. Subscribe. Drop a line. Leave a comment. Slam that notification bell. Join the Discord. Hang out and chat with us. Follow Dan's Night Out on Instagram and check out the other links in our description. Dan and Adam rely on the kindness of listeners like you, taking the time out of your day to make a difference. And our bargain remains, if you leave a review, we will read it on the show, live on air. Thank you. Now, back to the program. You know, I hope that we become popular to where we get like hundreds of reviews and like we fuck ourselves. So we're just like, oh God, we have 100 reviews to read this week. But we'll just do that.
I hope so.
We'll just do that thing like they used to do in commercials where like we'll record it and just speed it up. And I'll just be like, Dan and I'm Afraid are the best podcast I've ever heard.
We'll do it. It'll be great. I mean, that'll be a good problem to have, Adam.
No, yeah. Champagne problems. Am I right, gentlemen?
Let's move on. We got the screenplay by, you mentioned earlier, Michael Bacall. He also produced Scott Pilgrim, he did the screenplay for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 21 Jump Street, Project X, and 22 Jump Street. You got anything to say about those?
I love all those movies. I haven't seen 22 Jump Street. I don't think I necessarily want to. I mean, maybe I'd like to see it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you made 21 Jump Street. You don't have to make 22 Jump Street just because it's successful, right?
Yeah, I remember the first one being pretty good, but I think I gave this. There's a Letterboxd review out there, folks. Maybe I'll pull it up before the podcast ends, but I have one really early from 2014. It was one of my first reviews. Project X is one of my favorite movies. I will see Project XX, the new sequel they have in production. I don't give a fuck. That's one of my favorite movies. If you see my review on Letterboxd, it's like 5 stars. I was like, I guess you had to be there.
Guess you had to be there.
One of the best. But point is, screenplay by Michael Bacall and Edgar Wright. They're not necessarily longtime collaborators, but they have collaborated once before on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So again, you have the expectation. Oh, it's going to be like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
You want to read me a bit about the elder god looming over all this?
The Eldritch god himself, based on The Running Man in 1982. It's a novel written by Richard Bachman, a.k.a. Dan's favorite Twitter personality, Stephen King.
You don't want to play asshole with me, kid. You lose every time.
Yeah, the novel, it's just, it's set in dystopian United States during the year 2025. Very fortuitous that this movie was made last year. The nation's economy was in ruins and world violence is rising. The story follows protagonist Ben Richards as he participates in the reality show The Running Man, in which contestants win money by evading a team of hitmen sent to kill them. And this film follows more closely to the novel, whereas the 1987 version, like we said, it simplifies the time and the scale, which was something I didn't know. So I was I was very surprised in this movie where I'm like, oh, they're just like set loose in the United States. How would you get captured?
For 30 days.
This was last of the 4 books written by King under the name Richard Bachman before the author's real identity was leaked to the media. And these books are Rage, The Long Walk, Roadwork, and The Running Man. The 4 novels were reissued in 1 volume as the Bachman books.
Yeah, 1985. Have you heard of any of those other than Long Walk and Running Man? You heard of Rage or Roadwork?
No, I have not.
So Rage, I wanted to mention Rage real quick. Also known as Getting It On. It's a psychological thriller film written by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. The novel describes a school shooting and has been associated with several real-life school shooting incidents in the 1980s and 1990s. In response, King allowed the novel to fall out of print. In 2013, in the wake of the Sandy Hook shooting, King published the anti-firearms violence essay, Guns. So Stephen King wrote this in 1977. It's one of his first novels, and it's about a school shooting. And I guess, I don't know. I think he's like ashamed of having written it. So I don't think we'll see an adaptation of this one, but I would love to. That's the one Stephen King adaptation I would love. I'm going to get this book. This is actually one I'm going to read for sure. Like, oh, it's out of print, isn't it? Fuck, I guess I'm going to get the PDF. Give me the EPUB file. Fly me out. Cinematography, Adam. This was done by Chung Hoon Chung. You know who that guy is?
Chung Hoon Chung.
I hope it's he, him. I didn't look into it. Old Boy, 2003.
I mean, I do like Old.
I haven't seen it.
Is that that's not? Yeah, no, yeah,
the original.
Because it was Spike Lee that did the remake.
Yeah, shout out James Brolin. Yeah,
yeah, and he's in this movie. He also
Stoker,
did
2013.
He did.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, and he did Boulevard in 2014. This is actually one of Robin Williams' final roles. Oh God! But his actual final role is Teddy Roosevelt in Night at the Museum: Secret of the Tomb. Man, what a way to go out, right?
It's a hard-on, Richard. You're supposed to have sex with it. I don't know. Was that movie?
Dan, I gotta take a wicked piss, man. I've been drinking too much coffee.
I gotta refill my drink.
And I can't wait till we get to the cast of this movie because I have a very fun fact.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We're actually going to speed run through a lot of this from here. But me and Earl and the Dying Girl, just pointing that out because it seems like one you and your wife would have watched. Am I wrong?
You are wrong, but it does. But it does. You're right. Yeah, it does seem like a movie we would watch together.
All right, at least there's that. And the It remake, Hotel Artemis, Zombieland Double Tap. I like Zombieland. I don't remember the second one at all.
Yeah, I don't. I think I've seen the second one like at a party where it was just on the television.
But visually, so far, the only thing I could be like is, yeah, I guess the It remake. I guess that makes sense so far. I haven't seen Old Boy. And then we got Last Night in Soho, so he's worked with Wright before. Uncharted. That's where Marky Mark's like, hey, I'm in Uncharted. I don't know. This is the worst one so far.
I'm supposed to be playing a gray-haired old man.
What is this? Who are you? Tom Holland?
I'm not bald yet.
I'm not bald. And then Wonka from 2023, just not good. None of these movies sound good. And then Heretic 2024. I know you liked Heretic. Do you remember the camera work?
No, but I'm sure if I rewatched it again, I might. I don't know. This guy seems like he's a skilled cinematographer.
So if we have like good, the bad, I'd say the good is he's reliable and he's serviceable. You don't notice him necessarily,
it's
not bad.
Which might be, that's like a good sign, right? Like, as much as I love fun camera work, at the same time, it's like, well, you don't really want to notice that shit.
But it makes sense he's on an Edgar Wright movie with like $110 million budget, right? They need someone reliable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then edited by Paul Mackless. And just, real quick, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, World's End, Baby Driver, Last Night in Soho, The Flash.
Dude, The Flash is unfortunately pretty good. Like, I will say it's the better of...
Oh, really?
It's better than most... It's different than a lot of superhero films, which immediately made me more interested in it.
I'm sure that had a lot of editing work.
Yeah, that might be the weakness of the movie. But it looks kind of stupid.
But, I mean, these are good movies, so I don't know, maybe. And then The Sheep Detective, which bodes well for The Sheep Detective.
Oi, it's The Sheep Detective.
Oi, I'm Rhys Darby.
Rhys Darby.
Music composed.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
We're moving on from Rhys Darby, sorry. We've decided to move on as a committee.
So I like this first one that, music composed by Stephen Price. He did Attack the Block. We watched that, I think, together.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't watch it. You and your wife did, though.
I thought you watched it with us. I guess not. I
stopped in at one point and probably like hit a joint, and I was like, "Hey, all right, later."
Hey,
I know you liked it though, right? It was a good one.
Yeah,
for a UK.
Yeah, it was
Attack
good.
the Block.
It was good for a UK movie.
And then we got Gravity. I saw that in theaters. Notably, I don't like Gravity. Again, these movies, though, I need to revisit them. I was so young when I watched them, but I didn't love it. It's Alfonso Cuarón, though. The World's End. Fury. Have you heard of Fury? It's like a war movie. Figured you'd have heard of it.
Heard of it. Haven't seen it. I know it's about tanks. It's about tanks.
Well, more on that later, folks. Not really. Suicide Squad. What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? This is one of Will Smith, the bad one, and Jared Leto. Baby Driver. So music composed for Baby Driver. Hey,
that was
and Last Night in Soho.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these guys, they've worked with, Edgar Wright before is what I'm noticing.
At least down to 2010. Yeah, none of these guys worked on Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yeah, that was when he was burgeoning as a filmmaker.
And then we'll get into some of these guys later, but produced by Simon Kinberg, Nira Park, Edgar Wright, production companies, and this is where we get into it. So Kinberg Genre was founded by producer Simon Kinberg in 2010. They produce Elysium, shout out. That's one maybe we talk about. That one's like way ahead of its time as far as a movie. We're headed towards Elysium, folks. X-Men, Days of Future Pants, Chappie. My girlfriend loves Chappie. I'd love to rewatch it. The Martian, science, fuck yeah. We just watched the trailer for Project Whatever the Fuck. Same duo or something. X-Men Apocalypse, Deadpool, Logan, Deadpool 2. You love Logan, Adam. I see it on your face.
Dude, that movie speaks to me.
Then go ahead and read me some about Complete Fiction.
So Complete Fiction, Edgar Wright is a co-founder, and some of their notable films are The Sparks Brothers, Last Night in Soho, and Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the animated Scott Pilgrim movie that I have not seen.
Yeah, I should see it. It was also, I think this was co-founded by Nira Park as well. But yeah, it's like, one thing I like about discussing this stuff, and I defend discussing it, and I don't want to remove it, is because we get to learn the ecosystem of film, and we're like, okay, so everyone's kind of got their own production company. They kind of work with the same people over and over again. Like, we really see that with all this stuff. But moving on, some last technical details here. Distributed by Paramount Pictures. They're huge. You know who Paramount is. Shot on Arri Alexa 35 with Hawk Class X, Mini Hawk, V-Lite, Vintage 74, Zeiss Ultra Prime, and Ingenieux Optimal lenses. Ingenieux. Reason I don't know. The only thing I'd mention here is like one of the lenses is to give you like a 1970s vintage feel.
Mm-hmm.
Very digital though so far, right? Arri Alexa. It's the camera I want. I love the Arri Alexa. Also shot on DJI Ronin 4D with DJI DL lenses. Some scenes. For me, I was picturing in my head, it's like the, like the handheld scenes where he's like, fuck you, I'm still alive. He has to record the video.
Oh,
it's like maybe a shot on that. This was mastered via 4K digital intermediate, struck to 35 anamorphic film prints in DCP, digital cinema package for digital projection. But that interesting note there, Adam, struck to 35 millimeter anamorphic film prints. Go ahead and read me the note under that.
This is Edgar Wright's first film to be shot entirely with digital cameras, having previously used the format to shoot some scenes in Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho. His previous filmography was shot either mostly or entirely on 35 millimeter Kodak film, and he is a known advocate for film stock. Wright later confirmed in an interview with The Playlist after the film's release that this was for financial and logistical reasons, as it became more difficult to get all of the required film equipment in certain areas than initially thought, with Wright also chiming in that, "It doesn't mean I've renounced 35 millimeter. I'll be back," to quote Mr. Schwarzenegger.
Astonishingly, this was screened in 35 millimeter at the Vista Theater in Los Angeles, California. The theater was purchased by director Quentin Tarantino in 2021. Under his ownership, the Vista incorporated a new 70mm film projection system and a new sound system. This is like when movies come out and they have like 10 formats or whatever, Sinners comes out. Mm-hmm. This is one of the few theaters you can go to to see the cool ones. And screens only on film rather than digital. So they only do film screenings with an emphasis on first run releases, occasional classics. A 35mm VistaVision projector was installed so they could screen one battle after another in VistaVision, as the film has been shot in the format, making it one of the only cinemas in the world currently capable of screening VistaVision. They have like a little cafe in there called Pam's Coffee, after Coffee, the notorious or infamous, famous blaxploitation film starring Pam Grier. And it also hosts the Video Archive Cinema Club, a 20-seat micro cinema named after Video Archives, screening on films on 16mm and VHS. So I don't listen to the Quentin Tarantino podcast. I really should. But yeah, I don't know, man. I included some pictures. This place looks fucking awesome. What the fuck? I wish we lived near it.
We should make a pilgrimage sometime. I mean, it's driving out
it's not that far.
Driving out to LA, that's like 6-7 hours. So
we definitely should. Hell yeah. We could get like a field recorder, do a whole thing. That'd be fun. Shooting dates, Adam. Go ahead and when was the shot?
Shooting dates are November 4th, 2024 to March 28th, 2025. That's about 4 to 5 months.
It's quite a bit, right?
Yeah, that's a long film. Yeah.
One of the longest we've talked about so far, as actually talking about it.
One of the longest thus far.
Filming locations I thought was super interesting. Bulgaria, Glasgow, Scotland, Battersea, London, Wembley, London, Leavesden Film Studios, Hertfordshire, England.
Hertfordshire.
This is not shot in the U.S., Adam. And actually, there's one scene I'll bring up now. Do you remember there's a scene where Glen Powell is in a towel, maybe? And he's like hanging down from like a building and shit. Yeah. I was like, is this the building from Holy Motors? Holy Motors!
Holy Motors!
Didn't it look like it?
Yeah, it had that. Yeah, I could see where you're getting that from.
But I was like, this is not America. Yeah. What about the aspect ratio? You want to read me that big, beautiful aspect ratio, Adam?
Big, beautiful aspect ratio at 2:39:1. Essentially CinemaScope, where we got those large, beautiful black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. This makes a movie, baby.
And this is my note. I personally did not notice the black bars till 38 minutes in. So that's how much I pay attention, folks, if you're wondering.
And the runtime for this movie is 133 minutes or 2 hours and 13 minutes. Did this feel like it was too long for you?
Yes, definitely too long.
It did. Okay.
Adam, did you notice the black bars?
Man, I am like a child watching things. I did not notice it.
So you didn't notice at all? Okay. I noticed 38 minutes and Adam didn't notice at all, just for the record.
The only time I ever notice black bars is when it's like, I forget what the aspect ratio is, but when it looks like cell phone camera footage or something.
It's when you're watching your sick, perverted Japanese hentai porn. I know what black bars you're talking about.
Yeah.
This was released on November 3rd. Well, it premiered November 3rd, 2025. Everyone wants to point to the UK premiere. No, folks. It premiered in Paris, France. And yeah, there's a little photo of them. I love Glen Powell. I'm a big fan of Glen Powell. I'll defend him.
I mean, he's so
on this
handsome.
podcast, no matter what.
Just such a handsome man.
November 11, 2025, United Kingdom, it went wide. So it went to England first. United States, we had ours on November 14, 2025 on a Friday. I don't know why UK did it on a Tuesday. Apparently for logistical reasons, trying to like make money. I don't know. But November 14, 2025, Adam, what were you doing?
November 14th, 2025. Man, my life has just been like a lot of boredom. Like I wasn't doing much of anything.
We were in between Dream Scenario and 3,000 Years of Longing.
That's right, folks.
There you go. That's what we were doing. And we'll get into a bit more here. Opening weekend. So this is I want to talk about it. We have to. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Opened on the same day, Adam. And it made so much fucking money. Holy shit. 21 million opening. It went on to make $242 million. The fuck, man? I was tired. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about this. We should maybe watch one of these. They're giant. They're one of the biggest movies on the planet. The Running Man came in number 5. Now You See Me was number 4 of the month. Then we had, I guess we should mention here, Running Man made $16 million on the opening. Not bad. Total $69 million worldwide as of this recording. Yeah, 69. The Keeper, or just Keeper, came out. That was the Oz Perkins movie. I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, Oz, you didn't make much money either, but thankfully your movies cost nothing to make. So, out of the rest of these, I don't really give a shit about. I did want to mention Cera. I think that's an interesting movie. So these are all the movies that came out the same day. Competition, not huge competition, but Now You See Me is like a juggernaut. So what the fuck? And then for the month, you want to read me some of the movies for that month?
Other notable competition for the month of November, we got at the number 1 spot, Wicked for Good. And that opened, Jesus Christ, that opened with $147 million. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
Which I guess I contributed to that because I went and saw it in theater. I was dragged.
Oh my God, you did, didn't you?
I was dragged to see it.
Adam's represented there.
Number 2 was Zootopia 2, which made
another juggernaut,
a whopping $100 million.
No, oh yeah, opening. Look at the fucking total, worldwide total, 1.8 trillion. Holy shit,
that is insane. I've never seen Zootopia 1. Like, gosh.
Dude, China loves it, man. That's what they show at Disneyland instead of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not kidding.
I feel like I'm just part of a world that like I'm not even aware of until we do this part of the podcast. Like,
that's crazy.
And the number 3 spot was Predator Badlands. That made $40 million total. It made $184 million. Not bad. I'm sure it costs a lot. Number 5 was The Running Man. We already talked about what that made. Number 6, we have Regretting You. Don't even know what that is. Number 7, Black Phone 2.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen Black Phone 1, but as long as, what's his name in that movie? Ethan Hawke, right? As long as he's out there still making movies, making money so he can make weird movies on the side.
I saw that it was compared to Nightmare on Elm Street, man. That sounds cool to me.
And then the internet sensation, I guess, the Reddit sensation, Chainsaw Man, the movie.
Japanese sensation.
Yeah. And then number 9, let's hear it for number 9, folks. Begonia.
Woo, woo.
And it's
open. Isn't that sad?
Opening $709,000. That's
less than $1 million, folks.
Yeah, that's such a shame. Fuck everybody.
But it did well worldwide. It did 42 million. So
yeah.
We're not gonna look at the budget or anything, but not a great opening in the United States.
And here we'll just go through. We'll just speed a bit. Number 10, Nuremberg. Number 12, Springsteen. Deliver Me From Nowhere. And it made $8 million on its opening day. What the hell?
People did see it. It made $45 million. It made more than Begonia.
Who even heard of this movie? Number 15 was Back to the Future, the 40th anniversary re-release. And then number 16, I'm represented here, Die My Love, which made $2.6 million. Not too bad. I mean, I feel like that movie probably, I want to look real quick. We'll keep it rolling, but I want to see how much was this movie? This movie was, you can't even find the budget for this film.
It was really small. It was like Lynn Ramsey or something. Yeah, I don't know. Bella Ramsey directed it.
Bella Ramsey, I guess, approximately $24 million. So in movie terms, that's not a whole lot of money to make.
No, that's a flop.
And no. That's how much it cost. Well, okay, yeah, you're saying
it only made 11. I saw advertisements for it, man. They put money into advertising.
Yeah, that's where all the money probably went towards advertising and Robert Pattinson.
The cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The budget for this film. Why don't you go ahead and read that
speaking
budget,
of flops.
Dan?
Speaking of flops, Adam, budget of this movie is $110 million.
And you
they gave Edgar Wright $110 million.
And you see it. This looks like $110 movie for sure. Like there's a lot of shots in this movie that are like, you can tell that there's a lot of money put into a lot of practical set pieces too. And yeah, we'll get into it.
And again, it only made worldwide gross about $69 million. It's disputed, but not by much. $69 million, folks. Did not make its budget back. It did not make marketing back. Oh, fuck. So, like I was saying,
Wendy's bucket of nuggets and bucket of chili.
Edgar Wright might be in director's jail. Let's get to the cast. We got Glen Powell as Ben Richards, a blacklisted laborer who signs up for The Running Man.
Josh Brolin as Dan Killian. He's the producer of Running Man.
And we got Colman Domingo as Bobby T. Thompson, the host of The Running Man show. I'll just mention here, like, I love Colman Domingo. He was in Sabrina Carpenter's Tears video, and I was like, he's so good in this, and he's so good in this as well. And I guess we should say a little ditty. Obviously, we love Glen Powell. Josh Brolin. We love Josh Brolin, right? I think he's really great in this. He probably was on the set for 2 days of the 6 months shooting or whatever.
And like also talking about Colman Domingo, because Richard Dawson plays the original. Wait, no. Oh, wait. There is no Colman Domingo in the 1987 version. He's actually...
Well, that's the thing. They kind of, in the 87 version, they merge everything together. So, like, the owner and the announcer is, like, the same person. And this one, it's kind of split up. Different people.
Well, it was Richard Dawson who played Dan Killian in the original. And, I mean, he's just great, right? He was the original host of Family Feud.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, it just fits. Now... The next one we're going to mention here is that we have Lee Pace as Evan McCone, the mass leader of the Hunters on The Running Man. Dan, do you know where this guy was born?
No.
He was born in Chickasha, Oklahoma, the same place where I was born.
Oh, really? Okay.
I found
He's an Oklahoma boy like us.
Just a regular Oklahoma boy, which is just so crazy to me. I don't know that I watched something where this guy was born. He was probably born like 100%. He was born in the same hospital as I was. I think there's only one hospital in Chickasha.
Looks a little bit like Lance. You see some Lance in him.
Oh yeah, he's 46. So he's not that much older.
He's masked for most of this movie. I love Lee Pace. He was good in Bodies. That's really all I know him from.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great. He was Thranduil in the Hobbit movies, and he's going to be in the Practical Magic Part 2 coming out.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know what that is, but I support it. Michael Cera as Elton Pericus, a rebel who helps Ben. Obviously, a podcast favorite, Michael Cera. I always say about Michael Cera, when I saw him in like Superbad and I saw him in all this stuff, I thought he was going to be the next major star. I was like, he's amazing. I'm going to see him my whole life. And he's just been in weird, small roles forever now. So, shout out. I'm glad he did the Elijah Wood thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have Emilia Jones as Amelia Williams, and she's a civilian taken hostage by Ben Richards.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
And I haven't seen many of the movies that she's been in.
No, I haven't seen anything. I don't think. William H. Macy is Molly Jernigan, a man who provides Ben with disguises when he's on the run. Shout out William H. Macy from Wild Hogs.
William H. Macy from Wild Hogs. Hell yeah. Then we got Daniel Ezra, and this guy plays Bradley Throckmorton, a rebel and live streamer who aids Ben. It's nice to see, live streamers and podcasters. I throw those in the same. We're all in the same ecosystem, so it's nice to see the representation of us in there.
He's one of my favorite parts of the movie. He has the alter ego, I think, called Apostle or something.
I think that's right.
Really fun. Yeah, I mean that's the best part of the ending that I don't like. We'll get into it. Jayme Lawson as Sheila Richards, Ben's wife. What can you say? I think she was in Sinners.
She must have been. She's black. She's black.
I think isn't she the one who gets eaten out by the kid?
I just want to taste you. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can't believe you just said eaten out on the podcast. This is a family show. Oh la la. And then let's hear it for Katy O'Brian as Ginny Laughlin, another contestant.
Katy O'Brian.
Yeah, I love her. I loved her in Love Lies Bleeding. She's great. She's hot. Like, I know this is also a misogynist podcast, so like, she wouldn't in this
She's
movie.
Great. She should add more presence. They did not give her enough to do.
No, they did not.
Do you know who Karl Glusman is as Frank, a hunter on the Running Man? Adam, do you remember Karl Glusman?
No.
He's in the Neon Demon. He's also in Gaspar Noé's Love, which we'll watch at some point. But yeah, shout out Karl Glusman. I was excited to see him in this.
Oh, he's like the guy taking pictures like of Elle, right? Elle Fanning at the beginning, right?
He's like one of the he's like one of the boyfriends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember Keanu comes out at some point?
Oh, yeah.
Neon Demon, we'll get to
316, gotta be seen. And then we have Martin Herlihy as Tim Jansky, a contestant on The Running Man. I felt like his death scene was very reminiscent of The Long Walk. Just because he gets popped in the head and you see it, you see him like fall down to his knees, very much so like The Long Walk style.
He's the comedic relief of the movie. He gets taken out first. They kind of describe the role of the Running Man, kind of like a slasher movie terms. Like you have the slut, you have the whore, you have the geek, you have the jock, that kind of thing. He's the one who goes first, and yeah, he does die first because he's just at the coffee shop and he's just like, yeah. Sean Hayes is Gary Greenbacks, a TV host. I pointed him out here. Gary Greenbacks. He's from Will and Grace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy does. Yeah, I didn't recognize him.
Save the next one for you, Adam.
And then, of course, we have David Zayas as Richard Manuel, Ben's former employee. I mean, we all know who this guy is, right? We know who this guy is. This is Angel from Dexter. Angel El Pasión.
Angel, fuck me on this desk.
He had no.
Oh, I guess so.
And that was a delight. He's like the first, one of the first people you see in this movie. I was very, very happy to see him.
You said employee, former employer. He's trying to get a job from him.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who makes a cameo appearance on the face of the $100 bill. He played Ben Richards in the original movie. I didn't notice that until after the movie. So there you go. Again, attention to detail. I didn't notice he was on the $100 bill. Did you?
I did, yeah. Like I shouted out with excitement.
And then let's get into this plot, Adam. Do you have? Are we just going to read off the Wikipedia this week?
I mean, I was even thinking that we could just talk about. I don't know. Let's just free will it. Let's just talk about the plot.
All right. Well, let's start here then. Let's put a spoiler-free zone here, guys.
Spoiler.
If you haven't seen the movie, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
We're going to talk about the spoilers and the movie from here. I guess I did ask you to prepare a short review. Did you do that, or are we going to do this off the cuff?
Man, I am sorry. It's been a busy week, and I also just forgot. Kind of like how I forgot to go to therapy the other week.
I'll give you some time to think, and I'll start with mine. Do I recommend The Running Man? Not necessarily. I would definitely point people to the original Running Man before I'd point them to the 2025 version. And I'm disappointed by that. Is it watchable? Is it rewatchable? Yes. But does it live up to its full potential? No. What about you, Adam? Do you recommend The Running Man from 2025?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stand in contrast. I do recommend this movie. I thought, as far as fun films go, it was a lot of fun. It had my wife cheering along while watching it, which is always a rare case with the choices we make on this podcast. And I would say, it's better or worse than the 87 film. I would say they complement each other. Watch both of these. Watch them both.
What are some of your favorite King adaptations, Adam?
I definitely love all the It adaptations. I love the 1980s version of that with Tim Curry. I love the modern ones, James McAvoy and all them. I mean, what man? Yeah, I can just go on. I feel like I could just list them off where I'd be like, The Shining was awesome, even if he hated it himself.
Yeah, The Shining. Langoliers had that awesome Timekeepers of Eternity cut, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think I'd like the Langoliers, but I like Timekeepers.
You could go on forever, right? Stephen King adaptations. There's so many of them. There's Christine. That's one I'd like to rewatch by John Carpenter. There's Carrie, one of my favorite movies of all time. The Dead Zone's not very good. Children of the Corn's kind of fun. Haven't seen Stand By Me. Haven't seen Creepshow. And haven't seen Lawnmower Man. Pet Sematary. I have seen Misery. Misery's fine. Obviously, it's great. I would like to see the golden years and some of those like cheesy ones he did in the 90s, or they made in the 90s. But yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to ask that up top. Is this one of your favorite King adaptations, Adam? Does this stand up to The Shining?
Does it stand up to The Shining?
Does it stand up to The Long Walk, Adam?
It's not my favorite King adaptation, but I mean, it's up there for sure. And it's like you said, it's a bit long in the tooth. So, but yeah, it's up there. It's in my top 10 of King adaptations.
I'm going to read you a quote, Adam, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. Subtext is for cowards.
What is that from the creators of Game of Thrones? I don't know. Part of me agrees with that because it's like, no, just fucking put your shit out there. Put your shit into the plot. The plot's gonna give you. Don't intentionally make subtext. Don't intentionally do that because like that's for readers and viewers to come up with, right? Like, you should actually just be like telling a story. I don't like it when people write poems and they're like, oh, what does this poem mean? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean what it means? He wrote what it means. Now you make up what it means.
That's a criticism I saw online of this movie. Is context is for cowards.
Subtext.
That's the description of it. Because they're like, yeah, this movie's, and I mean, you think back and you think of Paul Verhoeven and like RoboCop, where they're like sledgehammering it across your face. So much so that people are just like, this is authentic. Same with like Starship Troopers. I don't know. It's not necessarily important, but it does this does feel like a major motion picture with a bunch of studio notes where like, make sure you explain this, make sure you ADR this line, make sure you do this and that or that. So someone also said Edgar Wright is in his latter day Guy Ritchie phase. Of note, I've seen a lot of unfavorable comparisons to Bullet Train, a general audience favorite, people deriding this for not being as good or memorable. Have you seen Bullet Train?
I have. You said it's not what derided as being not as memorable,
not as good or memorable
as Bullet Train.
Yeah, people are still talking about Bullet Train. My girlfriend loves Bullet Train.
God, like I said, I live in a world that I just don't understand because, like, I thought Bullet Train was fine, like it was entertaining, but it's definitely not a movie that I walked away from being like, "Wow, do you remember that character?" And Paperboy's in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like, yeah.
Zazie Beetz is in that movie. Bad Bunny's in that movie.
Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. I just want to read books now. I'm done watching movies. This is a book pod. This is gonna turn into a book podcast.
He's done. The Running Man adaptation has killed Adam. It said people seem kind of obsessed with the book's original ending. Like no matter what, this and the Arnie movie are bad because it doesn't end in a kamikaze suicide bombing into a building. So that's the original ending of the movie or the book is he does a kamikaze suicide act. Like in this movie, they're like, I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to make it look like. But in the true book, he's like, no, I'm going to fuck this. I'm going to do this. He kills Killian that way by crashing it into a building. I've also seen some weird comparisons to the Turner Diaries, the white supremacist novel, but we'll just move on past that. I guess that's where we can really jump in and talk about the plot. Last thing I have to say really is this a really good Bruce Willis movie, Adam?
Is this a really good Bruce Willis movie?
Yeah.
You know, the most memorable Bruce Willis movie for me is Looper, honestly, which makes me a bad Bruce Willis fan.
Yeah, I'm like, this is supposed to be like Die Hard, I think, if they're...
I could see that. Yeah, I could see this being a good Bruce Willis movie.
I'm also not good. All I've seen is like the whole 12 yards or whatever. So yeah, The Running Man, Adam. I don't know. We start off, his kid's sick, right? His kid's sick. He's got the flu or something. I don't know if they mention the flu in the movie, but if they do, nothing makes sense. Some of the logic in this movie just straight up doesn't make sense. Like, we got to get her the good meds. Bring her to the good doctor. like,
yeah.
Is this Fallout? And we never really get a good idea of like the atmosphere, the environment. That's one of my criticisms of the movie for sure.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that has to be on purpose though, because it's like you're just getting. There's just like, you know, he says flu, and then later this kid has cancer, and they're not talking about like the meds that they get them aren't specific. They're just like you got to give them the good meds, get them the street meds, and I feel like
get them the psycho.
Yeah, get them the psych, and I feel like that's almost how I took it. Was it's supposed to be a little bit like a Fallout universe where you just get stim packs to make you feel better and heal you. And yeah,
his wife works at a strip club or something.
Yeah, or like a hotel or something like that. Like there's shady shit that goes on. And he's trying to get his old job back. But what we learn about Ben Richards is that he is a blue collar worker. And he's been blacklisted from all these jobs because of union activism. And yeah, there's like a part later on where I think it's Josh Brolin is talking to him. He's like, you live in a country where most people think unions should be illegal. And he's like, well, I guess I'm the other kind of person.
He's also the angriest man alive in this movie.
Yeah, like his anger.
We've never seen him.
What?
We've never seen a man so angry. His anger levels are off the charts. Punches the glass during the when he goes and signs up for, because let's see, the thing is like you have the Running Man, it's just one TV show of a whole network, and you got all these TV shows. Good time to bring up the trivia note. The giant N logo above the network building is colored red and resembles the Netflix logo. Everywhere else in the movie, the logo is colored white. This is a subtle dig at Netflix, allegedly, who director Edgar Wright says ran trailers for his film The World's End that carelessly gave away the ending. Do you think that's real?
Yes. And I think like a good dystopian movie, you know, with all these, a lot of people would see this, my wife included, and be like, you know, this is probably where we're heading. And I think, you know, it's not the way to look at it, because like a good dystopian film, it's more or less commenting on where we are now. And I don't watch a lot of reality TV shows, reality contestant shows. I watch Hell's Kitchen, and like the amount of like humiliating yourself when you go onto those shows, I think is like what he's playing up. Even though like these shows are not just humiliating yourself, these shows are like getting hurt, getting killed, you know, extreme violence. He's watching a show with his daughter at the beginning, and oh man, I wish I wrote down what the name of the show is, but
I think it's in the document somewhere. But he's also watching the Americanos. Do you remember the Americanos?
Yeah.
The Kardashians ripoff?
Yeah, that was pretty great.
And so there's all these shows you can try out for, and the point is they need money, right? Because his daughter's sick, and they're like, I'm not making any money at the club or whatever the fuck, this Dohan club I'm doing. He's like, I have to do something because I'm blacklisted. And he asked the guy to unblacklist me. He's like, I'm going to kick you out of this place. He's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like, it's such a crazy encounter. And he's like, I'm going to go sign up for a show. You know, the least someone made was, I don't know, $75 new dollars. And that's going to get us all we need for our daughter. So he goes and tries out. He I remember, he punches the glass because some guy mentions his daughter's like, they don't make glass thick enough to stop me from strangling you. He's like, elevator 6. And he goes in there, and that's when you meet you meet Tim Jansky, you meet Jenny Laughlin, which in the original Running Man 87, there's like, you know, one was Yaphet Kotto. So different cast of characters here. And yeah, I don't know. He doesn't want to do the Running Man, right? He's like, no one comes back from the Running Man.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting cast for the Running Man because he's the angriest man alive. And they're like casting him this archetypical role we learn later as like the final guy, the final dude. And that's when we meet more of Ben. What is his name? Something Killian?
Yeah. Dan Killian.
My name, Dan Killian. And, you know, he's like, hey, I know your situation, all this shit. We're going to give you $1 billion if you make it 30 days. He's like, if you make it a week, you'll be in the top percentage of people of wealth in this country. Your family will be.
Yeah, and then like what convinces him is that he offers a safe house for his family in an advance on the money, which can get his daughter's medication. So like immediately, you know, his family's going to be set up. They're going to be out of, what is it, like Slumville or some shit like that?
Yeah, Slumville. No.
And that's another thing that's also true of the original is that like society is segmented and you can't just enter, you know, we see him when he's going to the network, he has to cross a border where, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm network tryouts. And, you know, the eye in the sky voice is like, go, but and then you hear like any loitering, you will be arrested. Like you need to go straight, you know, workers go straight to where they need to go. There's no, you know, there's not a free society. You can't just be like going wherever you want.
No, yeah, they're in dystopia. Where we're headed.
Which is funny because that's like, I don't know, I guess in America, like that's a right-wing talking point of being like, oh yeah, they just want us to live in these 15-minute cities where you can only go 15 minutes in either direction, but that's only where you can go. You can't just get up and go to a different city.
Well, this is an adaptation of a classic white supremacist novel, Adam.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't you know? They let him loose, right? You know, I like the Colman Domingo performance there, where they just start lying about him. They do the same thing in the '87 film, but he's like, it's just free V, baby. I don't know how much I like the term free V. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like, why not just call it TV?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's free V, baby. And they lie about him. They're like, you know, they use deepfake technology, all that stuff, which I thought was really cool in the '87 movie because I was like, wow, this is really ahead of its time. And I feel like they could have featured that more prominently in here. They do a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like the implications could have been more broad and scarier. So they let him loose, right? You got Katy O'Brian, you got Tim Jansky, and you got Ben, and they let him loose. They shoot him down this big thing, and in the '87 movie, they're in these like carts, and this one they just kind of are in these sleek devices. But either way, that looks terrifying. That drop, it's like a crazy roller coaster.
Yeah,
discombobulates you before you enter the competition, and you got to live 30 days. And the point is, you know, like you got to take a 10-minute video every day and mail it in. And then you have to not get caught. People are always trying to film you on their phones. They're going to have an app. And like if they get you or whatever, lead to an arrest, it's like $10,000 new dollars or something. So they got a reason to catch you.
Yeah.
And I like in the ads for it, they're like, they'll have like, we got him. And they shoot like a rocket launcher and kill like 20 people around him.
Right. Yeah.
Like they don't care about, and that'll come up later with Michael Cera's character, but they don't care about killing civilians in pursuit of the runner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like, yeah, this is like a dystopian universe where the United States is ruled by the network. And, yeah, they get shot out of these tubes. In the first place Ben Richards go as he heads over to William H. Macy.
Molly.
And he gets his disguises.
Yeah, but he's pissed, and I felt bad because Molly was about to offer him a job. He's like, you didn't have to do this. I was about to make you assistant here.
Yeah, which is just like, oh, well, fuck. Too late for that. You know, too late for that, right?
The disguise gives him is fucking ridiculous. I want to say right now. It's just like a mustache, basically.
Yeah, a mustache and some glasses.
A hairpiece, maybe. He looks like Ben Richards. Like, and I do love the Edgar Wright touch of him when he leaves with the disguise on, and he turns his head left and then right, and you see like the little thing, the poster behind him doing the same thing. So like, oh no, people gonna catch him already.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen.
A lot of things happen.
So in Boston, the hunters and soldiers track Ben at a hotel and shoot at him, leading to an explosion that kills 8 soldiers. That is the iconic scene where he's got the grenade. He's like, I got a grenade. He's like, oh yeah, right back at you. And he escapes, and he's like, I've survived, fuckers.
Yeah, I love that. I love his little videos that he makes. There's a lot of comedy there.
Just reminds me of Cloverfield.
And that's like the first time we see the technology the network has, because he leaves. He I forget the exact video he gives him, but it's something along the lines of like he starts to tell him about some.
He's like, they're giving the kids cancer.
And they replace it with a deep fake where he's like, instead of saying that, he's like, I thought about all the children and how it's their turn, motherfuckers, like to mourn the loss. Yeah. And because of that, like, yeah, we didn't say, but he's being held up by Throckmortons, yeah, because and they're like, hey man, we got to look out for each other down here. I thought, hey, this movie has some what do you call that again? Working class. I
just wish we had more of that, because I think about Total Recall or whatever, and I'm like, that movie is totally all about that. And you see the downtrodden areas and all. I wish we saw more of that in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we get it with like Throckmorton and Michael Cera's character, who later on goes to help him. And that I love it. I love it. A Stephen King staple, because Ben goes to Derry, Maine.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh yeah, like I noticed it because like Elton Parakis, yeah, who is Michael Cera, his mother is like, what if he comes to Derry? And
what if he comes to Derry? That bitch got what she deserves. She got thrown into a room.
One of the best sequences of this movie, I think, is when, like he like Ben is wandering, he's like in the house, and all of a sudden he gets discovered by Michael Cera's mom, who is like, it's Ben Richards. And, she goes.
They just have a button on their wall for alerting the authorities for the Running Man or whatever.
And at first, they stop his mother, but then Elton, Michael Cera, he alerts the authorities because he's like...
Well, it's because he's like suicidal or something. Overzealous, I think I heard someone say.
Okay, yeah. Well, and also he has in his house, like his house is just decked out with booby traps.
He's punk rock, dude. He's like, my dad was punk rock. His dad had the same fate as the dad in The Long Walk.
Yeah. And that's when we get, yet another chase scene. There's chase scenes all throughout. This whole movie is a chase scene, just so you know. And after they dispatch all of these cops, these fucking pigs.
I like they electrocutes them. I like my bacon sizzling.
Like my wife was like cheering during this scene. I was like, dear God, you're so violent, baby.
And they escape on a buggy, and Michael Cera dies.
Yeah, McCone blasts him in the head from a helicopter. And then Ben crashes. Yeah, he crashes his buggy into another hunter on a bridge, and he like leaps off last second, falling into a river below. Second shot we get of this movie of Ben Powell underwater looking up at an explosion, by the way.
And at some point here, Jenny dies. Katy O'Brien's character.
Jenny.
I don't remember. Oh, she gets torched by the kids because she gets away she goes to a poker game, which I thought was fun. I wish we had more of that stuff with her. But she was at a poker game and she escapes in like a Ferrari or whatever. And she's like, she got away. And then they do the rewind thing. They're like, actually, folks, it's me, Colman Domingo. And then they show like these kids torched her ass in a barn that she was hiding out in. She's got flamethrowered. Yeah, that was really good. That was a good scene too. And they have the kids come out. They're like, look at these kids.
Yeah, and they're just like these.
They have the flamethrowers.
Just like, evil looking children, man. You say you like that scene. I feel it in my gut whenever I see someone get lit on fire in a movie, and like she gets lit on fire and you see her like screaming and shit. I was just like, dear God.
And we do learn about, like, I think Michael Cera tells them that there's like DNA sniffers in the lights, in the street lamps.
Yeah, we see them.
Like, they're not playing fair, right? Like, you can't win the Running Man.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is that you will not win.
It's good free V, so they let him run that's the whole thing, is like, they're gonna let me go. And we get into that here when we meet he basically takes a woman hostage, quote unquote. And she's like, that's the thing. The class is so confusing in this movie, but I guess she's like middle class and she can afford like Spotify macchiatos and like SUV, whatever. She's like upper middle class, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, you're making me feel like the bad person. No subtext in this movie at all. I don't know. She's the weakest link in this movie. You could have cut her completely out. IMO, in my opinion.
And there's like a deep fake where she gets to see, like, while she's held hostage and she's like not screaming out the car window, they watch on television in her car her screaming out the car window, which, like, I guess it's like that's what convinces her, which, like you said, like, it's a weak part. I found it pretty weird because even like her agreement to join with him, she's like,
like, I have to go now. I have to die.
I have to prove it. And he's like, you don't have to prove anything to me. And she's like, well, maybe it's not proving it to you. And I'm like, what? Why? How did this happen so fast?
Not my favorite part. Not my favorite part at all. But they, he fakes that he has an explosive thing. They mentioned it earlier with Molly, but there's like this certain explosive that'll like is so big it's like the, what do they call it, big ass explosion or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'll let it go, and they let him get his own like plane or whatever, flying V plane or whatever. We'll get into that in a little bit. And he gets on there, and Lee Pace finally takes off his mask. Killian again is like, it's good free V. Take off your mask. Killian where the fuck is his name? Lee Pace. Mm-hmm. And it sets the end scene into goal here. I don't really know the details. What does the wiki say? Wiki says, reaching an airfield, they take off in a jet to Canada, guarded by McCone. Killian offers Ben his own show as the network's newest hunter if he kills McCone and the remaining hunters, broadcasting footage of them murdering Sheila and Kathy, his infant daughter, to drum up support for Ben. Enraged, Ben kills the hunters, posing as the flight crew. So he loses his mind, right, when Dan Killian's like, hey, they were murdered. We try to keep them safe, but these guys on this plane you're flying right now, they intentionally murdered your wife and your daughter. Yeah. What do you think here?
I mean, obviously, I'm suspecting that it's going to be a deep fake. Spoiler. I mean, I don't know. I was like, there's no way that actually happened, right?
I wish they had the balls to just say that actually happened, because I think that happens in the novel. I think if you're going to include the wife and daughter, just kill them. If you're going to include that plot. Fine.
Oh my God.
That's my problem with the ending. We'll get into it. I don't like how they say, oh, actually.
And so, we have here after, did you say this already?
He kills all the people on board and he kills McCone.
Well, but did you say how, like, McCone, when he takes off his mask, he reveals that he was the other first person who almost won.
He was offered a deal by Dan, just like Dan's offering him a deal for his own show if he kills all of them.
And I love the sequence in which he kills McCone, because like early on in the movie, he's like watching a trivia show where they talk about how many bathrooms are there on one of these jets. And he says 6. The guy on the TV who's running in like a hamster wheel says 4. And they're like, oh, you're wrong. And they speed up the hamster wheel. So like he knows, he's like, there's 6 bathrooms.
Yeah, he was studying them at the time. I noticed that second time through he was studying. So when he went and did it, he would maybe know. Yeah. And he's like, hey, I'm going to crash this plane. Or no. Dan Killian's like, hey, man, you won. You did it. Now announce to everyone that you did it and you're glad to be the new hunter number 6. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm not going to do it. He says, fuck you. He's like, all right, fuck you. I'm going to have this crash and we're going to shoot you. I'm going to simulate. I'm going to have this thing autopilot towards the building, the network building, and then we're going to shoot you down. And that's what they do, allegedly. And then they do the rewind thing, and you see the stuff from Apostle, right?
Yeah.
He's like, actually, what happened? You see this little, it's like 9/11, like analyzation footage. Like, you see this thing parachuting out. Did Ben survive? I hate this ending, so I'm just going to read it. Sometime later, Bradley posts a video disputing the network story, revealing the plane's black box was recovered with an unaltered recording of Ben's conversations with Killian, so the actual conversations leak, inciting a rebellion against the network. Ben, who survived due to the plane's auto-eject function, has become the face of the revolution. What was it called? It was like Ben Survives or something?
Richards Lives.
Richards Lives. And he becomes the face of the revolution, reunites with his family whose deaths were faked by Killian. As the next season, The Running Man begins, Bobby senses the audience hostility. So Colman Domingo's like, I quit, baby, leaving Killian to host. As a riot breaks out, Ben emerges from the crowd and shoots Killian, and that is end credits.
Boom, we made it.
I hated that ending. Hated it.
Yeah, the ending felt rushed. I think
the whole third act sucked, actually.
Yeah, like this movie, like it was really good on the lead up, and then it felt like you said, studio notes. That's what I would like to think. Part of me I would like to ask Edgar Wright, like, were you just going to have him fucking 9/11 this building? Were you going to go ahead with the original ending? But
maybe, yeah, it should have. That's what it sounds like, right?
But instead, we get like a very, happy ending where Glen Powell gets to be like, lights, camera, dead action, bam, shoots him.
Yeah, he kills our guy, the bad guy. So Tom Cruise called Glen Powell, whom we starred with in Top Gun Maverick, to give him advice before shooting this movie. Powell recalled, Tom rang me to give me the lowdown and I thought it would be a 10-minute call. It lasted 2.5 hours. He basically told me how not to die. He also gave me running lessons. He said, you should film yourself running because you don't look as cool as you think you do.
He was
so right.
That's so crazy. That's a real Tom Cruise quote because he loves running.
Yeah, that's funny. He's like, you don't look as cool as you think you do. I don't know if you want to read some of these. We're going to do some trivia at the end, and then you're done.
Oh, yeah. Edgar Wright told Stephen King to watch Hitman to convince him that Glen Powell was the right choice to play Ben Richards.
Haven't seen Hitman, but that's a Richard Linklater movie we should check out someday. While the 1987 film version moved the setting to 2017, director Edgar Wright chose not to specify a calendar year on the screen to maintain a timeless dystopian atmosphere, despite the meta significance of the production's timing. See, they don't say 2025 in the movie, but they could have, That's when the book takes place.
And Glen Powell said Arnold Schwarzenegger, star of The Running Man, 1987, gave him his full blessing. You have my full blessing, Glen Powell.
You have my full blessing. I won't be back. Prior to developing this adaptation, Edgar Wright said on Twitter that The Running Man was the film he wanted to remake the most.
One of the contestants shown early on is named Charles Decker. This name serves as a direct reference to the protagonist of Rage, a novella published by Stephen King. We talked about it under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. Both stories originally appeared together in the 1985
we talked about all this.
The Bachman books. Yeah. So rewind this podcast and listen to us talk about it.
Actually, rewind that, baby.
And you can hear Dan say it and then me say it right after Dan.
The reality television program Americanos is based on as a parody of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You know that? I think we talked about that too. I actually wanted to do something special real quick, Adam. Are you ready?
Ready?
Did you just come?
This means you got it right. This means you got it wrong. Okay?
Okay.
Adam, the capital of France is A, Marseille, B, Lyon, or C, Paris?
C, Paris.
Did you just come?
Hell yeah. You got it. You ignore the fart part. You got that answer right, Adam. What is the official beverage of the Running Man? A, Liquid Death, B, Topo Chico, or C, Monster Energy?
Liquid Death, baby.
Did you just come?
There you go. You got that one too. You're winning, dude, so far. Are you maintaining pace? What color is Ben's infant's sock? A, blue, B, red, or C, purple?
B, red.
Did you just come?
Oh yeah, you're winning, dude. You're gonna take home the new dollars today, bud. We got 2 more to go. Ben asked the taxi driver to take him to which cross streets? A, 12th and Biden, B, 13th and Obama, or C, 7th and Trump?
13th and Obama, baby.
Did you just come?
Woo!
Oh yeah. Oh man, we're on our last question here. Is Adam going to take it home or is he going to die? How many lavatories does a Net Air Flying V luxury jetliner have? A, 4, B, 5, or C, 6?
It has 6, my man.
Did you just come?
I'm running on the treadmill.
And Adam wins our trivia for today, folks. A new segment I'm introducing. Yeah, just thought it'd be fun. And you somehow got all of them right.
That was fun. Yeah. It's like I've seen this movie.
And last thing, I think I had a letterbox review before we sign out here. Letterbox review for The Running Man. The long walk walked so the running man could run. It's from Tim Tamatis, November 7, 2025. That's my last question, Adam. Which one's better, the Running Man or The Long Walk?
As much as I like The Running Man, I would say The Long Walk actually achieved just being a better, of a cohesive storyline. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Me too. The Long Walk stayed on my mind since we've watched it. I'm glad my girlfriend brought that to the table. And that's it, folks. That's The Running Man. Do you have any final thoughts before we put it to rest?
Oh, you had to ask me right when I yawned. Like I said, I recommend this movie. It's not one that maybe I would watch over and over again, but give it a look-see. Glen Powell he's a good star. I like him.
It's not bad. I would rewatch it. I'd give it a heart, but do I recommend it? Not necessarily. I'd recommend the original 1987 version before I recommend this one. Hopefully, Edgar Wright can not go into director jail and he can come out with a good next movie. I believe in you, Edgar. And next week, Adam?
I don't like to work without the master.
Do you know what we're going to be watching next week, Adam?
Why don't you tell me, my man? My man.
Well, as requested for a long time by returning champion Various Spaghetti, our friend Blake, we're going to be watching 1979's satirical comedy drama film starring Peter Sellers, Shirley MacLaine, and Melvin Douglas, directed by Hal Ashby. It is based on the 1970 novel Being There.
Yay, I've seen this movie, actually.
Oh, okay, really? Oh, I've never seen it. This is the first time Dan's coming to the picture, never having seen it. So that's interesting. That'll be a weird dynamic.
I love Peter Sellers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say. I'm intentionally not looking into it too much till I watch it. But I'm excited. I like bringing movies our guests are obsessed with because it gives me an out on the actual show. So we'll be checking that out, folks. And thank you for joining us on episode 89. Appreciate you all as always. And do you have any words of advice, words of wisdom, anything for our wonderful guests?
Keep your head up, folks. I know the world feels like it's getting scarier, but we've been through humanity has been through some scary shit before. And I think if we bind each other together, we can get through this. I say that as I am not bound to anyone but my wife and my best friend. So don't know what that looks like. Be fresh.
That's our show. Good night, everybody.
Jazz aliens? Yo, we from the planet Jazz. We're here to take over your honky asses, including you, host of the show.
Jazz alien Quado Mono invented the Big Five sound.
Yo, we're taking you to hell. You could be in hell, bitch.
White monkey.
Yeah, pipe down, carpet breath.